welcome to my Dark Souls the Boardgame unboxing. I've just received my copy today, but I did see a copy that my local retailer had got his end of last week. We had a bit of a play at the club days back. But this is my copy, so I figured I'll do an unboxing and give people my thoughts on it. As I've actually played the game as well, I can do a bit of a piece about how the game plays and what I feel of it. So, but first, let's open it up. I've just literally taken the cellophane off and I've not opened it up yet, so we never know if there's going to be any missing parts or anything. We'll find out as we go. What I do quite like is cover piece of "You've Died," very much in theme with Dark Souls. I've never been a big fan of the computer game because, for me, the computer games are about relaxing, and getting stressed out about a combat because I can't kill a boss or something. It's just not something I've been interested in. So I've not ever played a bit with a friend's copy, but I've never actually played it properly. It's not something I'm actually interested in. So, inside the box, you get all the cards. I'm going to be doing something with them which stores them better than that. Haven't decided what yet. Maybe it may be an MDF design of some shape, form, and description, which I'll have a play with over the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what I come up with. You then got the two boxes of miniatures, which we'll come back to in a moment. The rulebook. I'll be honest. Everything you need is in the rulebook, but it is a lot of flicking back and forth. I'm not convinced it's as well laid out as it could be. I think they could have done a better job of it. The rules are there, but I think it could have been better put together, shall we say. But again, personal opinion. Some people will find it fine. Other people will probably have the same opinion as me. And then all the card pieces at the bottom, which we'll just grab out. And I'll get rid of I'll flip the box over just so people can see the back. So on the back, you've got images of all the pitch models, what you should get in the box, and some nice artwork. Overall, it's a nice solid box. It's good quality. I'm impressed, and I'll probably at least initially be storing stuff in here. Going forward, we may do something else. I haven't decided yet. That's something I'm going to have a look at. So, as for the artwork for the tiles, the game tiles, they're all double-sided. Each one has the same layout of nodes, which way you move on. What they do have different is positioning of the spawn points, which are these red ones. So each of them have two red ones with different symbols in. And then two purple ones, which are terrain pieces, can be treasure chests, can be barrels, can just be gravestones, you can even move over them or not, depending on the type or what they are. Each of the ones have each of the cards, both sides. They have the same layout on. This one has the same layout on both sides, just different artwork underneath. I think they could have. I quite like them. Very dark, very gritty, lovely artwork in general. Not bad. So we'll see as we go forward. Here we go. So we've again got the two red ones and the two purple ones. Again in indoor scene with a carpet and lots of stone flooring. On the other side. So yeah, this one does have a different layout. So a bit of a bridge across, so you've a bit of dilapidated bridge by the looks of that, but you can fight around it as well. Then you've got, again, indoors. Gameplay wise, it's not specific tiles for specific parts of the game. You randomly deal out the tiles. There are 5 normal tiles and then the mini boss and the multi-boss, I believe. Let me just double check that. I think I may be slightly wrong on that. I think I was slightly wrong. Yep, I am. So let's just get these all out and go through them. I'll put those to one side. So that's a mini boss. That's the bonfire tile. That's the other boss. So basically, there are 6 tiles which you place 4 out, and then the other 2 tiles, it's a bonfire tile, which is where you upgrade yourself, you gear yourself up and level yourself up, and you get a mini boss or a boss tile, which you can go into once you've cleared a certain percentage of the area. Normally it's the highest level encounter which you've got to clear. So each of these room counts as an encounter, and you basically get different spawns. And what I like about it is random spawns. Then you've got the 2 boss tiles. You've got the mini boss tile. Let me get wait round. I think it's mini boss and boss. So you've got the mini boss tile, which starts in the back corner, and then you've got the main boss tile, which starts in the centre. And then you've got your bonfire tile, which, as I say, pretty much identical either side, with doors out to the rest of the encampment. As I say, artwork wise, there is incredibly nice artwork on all these. I'll probably put some stills up. Now you've got all the player tiles. Again, the players, you've got 4 characters in this game at the moment. Warrior, Knight, Paladin and Thief. Herald, not Paladin. Similar. Each one of them has a very specific role in the game. Warrior's about damage, Knight's about defense. Herald gives you a little bit of ability to help the rest of the buffing the opponent characters, removing stamina that is taken on it, makes it slightly easier. And the Thief, again, the Thief is about damage as well. Artwork wise, the cards are very nice. Again, while I'm going through these, I'll put stills up as well as the one down here, just so you can get a closer look at them. But as I say, overall, I'm really happy with the way they look. So you've basically got your items, you've got your bonuses, so you've got your luck, you've got your heroic, your luck, your Esser's potion, which is basically a health potion, and your ember. And the embers is something you don't start with, you get during the game via loot. And then you've got tokens underneath, which are all useful for different bits of the game. Everybody starts with slightly different stats. Basically the stats are what you need depends on the equipment what you need. Equipment needs specific stats to be able to use. You've got the strength, the dex, intelligence, and the faith. It literally is just for the equipment, equipping stuff. Other than that, makes no difference. Every character has starting gear, so you will have a basic armor, shield, dagger, weapon, depending on what character you are. And the Herald also starts with a talisman, which allows him to remove stamina points to use from characters, which is really helpful. Stops them dying quite quickly, potentially. And that's the Herald. So they're all basically the same sort of layout, same sort of setting. One thing I do like Steamforged has done is they've done for all the bosses where they have lots of wounds. They've done damage track for them, so you don't have to put down lots of tokens, mark them on a piece of paper, or whatever you do. You have a damage dial which you just track the damage, so as they go down, they see them going down. So that's all the card pieces, which, as I say, I'm really happy, I'm really impressed. Good solid pieces of card. Nice artwork, dark in theme. Only thing I would possibly say is some of the tokens, these ones which are the luck and the heroic tokens, not always easy to see which side's been used, which side hasn't, but it's not a big issue. you can tell, so it's not end of the world. I suppose at that point it's miniatures. Let's go through. Let's have a look at these miniatures then. So we have dice, and we have dice, and we have the basic miniatures. What I like about this is there's lots of, considering these are board game miniatures, I wasn't expecting a huge amount of detail from them. Yes, I know Steamforged are a miniature company, but they are a board game, so detail levels usually are a little bit lower on board game miniatures to wargaming miniatures. On this occasion, that's not the case by a long way. These miniatures are stunning. I'm gonna love putting some paint on them. They're gonna look really good, and they're gonna look really fun. And a lot of these miniatures will get used for other games as well, potentially. I'm already thinking I'm probably going to rebase these models. I will probably take them off the bases, purely because it'll be easier to put detail on them as we go. So, as I say, miniatures detail-wise, they are really, really nice. Again, I'm going to put stills up because, honestly, you can only get so much off a camera. So you basically got the different miniatures. You have the hollows, which are the smallers. You have the large hollows, which are these two with the big axes. You've got the archers and the knights, which are these guys. So detail-wise, really nice. You've got the sentinels, which are basically the big automaton, and you've got one of the bosses. So one of the bosses, you might think he's a bit small. When you see the other bosses, you might think he's a bit small, but then you realise he's actually with one of the other guys, so it's a dual boss. That's going to be fun. So overall, I'm really happy with the miniatures. Again, I'll put some stills up, but the artwork, they're really nice and really good quality. I'm really happy with them. Again, I've already said these are going to get properly. I won't store these in the plastic. They'll go, as I paint them, they'll go into a foam for gaming, because it just means I don't have to. I'm not going to worry about them damaging. But for now, they can go back and stay in the plastic and be stored nicely and be kept out of the way. Now for the real spectacular pieces. These are what I really like. For the price of this game, it's £100 retail. Seems a lot for a board game, but when you see these miniatures, you understand it. So these are the mini bosses and bosses. These things are humongous. They are really, really, really detailed and really nice. And these, I'm sure they didn't work this hard to take out last time. But so 6 mini bosses and bosses. You've got 2 main you've got the dancer, the executioner Smaug with Ornstein, who we've just seen. You've got the bull and outrider knight. You've got a gargoyle. You've got a titan demon. And you've got a winged knight. These miniatures are huge. They are really detailed in size. So you've got this titanate demon. Again, I'm going to put stills up purely because there's no point in me trying to take photos off the camera. I have a camera. We'll get them up on screen while I'm talking. So each of these, so you've basically got 4 mini bosses and 2 big bosses. The way the game works is you do a mini boss, you do a big boss. You do a mini boss, you do a big boss. You level up by leveling up, and you can take them on. As you take them on, they have certain level of difficulty. Some are easier than others. It's up to you which order you do them in there. There is a campaign in the book. We just did a random setup. I basically asked my players which one they wanted to take on, and they decided they wanted to take on the gargoyle. So my first full game of this. I've played the demo with the dancer quite a few times, seeing how the game is developed over the last 12 months. I first played it at Salute last year. We're now just a week or two after Salute, and I've played it a couple of times in there and just seen how the game has developed. So I'm really impressed with it overall. So the first time I played a full game of it, we took on this guy, the Gargoyle. We just did a mini boss because it was a learning game. It was make sure we knew how all the stats worked, how all the cards worked, make sure we got everything in our head right. So when we come back to play it again, we know where we're going. Overall, I'm really impressed with it. So again, as I say, I'm going to be putting pictures up of all these guys as we go. So you'll probably have a bit of a slideshow of all the miniatures at this point. But we'll see. So that is them. Other than that, that's basically it. That's what's in the box. Of course, there is the rulebook, which you get a breakdown of what actually should be there. And how you set the game up, how you use equipment and such like overall. And as I say, the information's in the rulebook that should be. I think they could have laid it out better, I'll be honest. Considering how good Steamforged Wargame manuals are, I think they could have done a better job on this. Personal opinion. Do I think that's right? Do I think it's wrong? We'll see. We'll see what other people think. For me, I'm fine with it. Gameplay's once you get your head around it, the game's really straightforward. I think now I know how this game plays, teaching anybody else, this will be purely here to, so if somebody questions me, I go, yeah, there's the rulebook, you can check it yourself. The game plays really easy once you get your head around it. It takes a bit of time to get around it. So, other than that, you've got equipment cards. So, let me just grab a knife, open these up without damaging. These again will all get sleeved and protected. I'll probably split them up and they'll all get stored outside of this. This is nice, but I think once the cards are loose, it's going to go everywhere. So I think I'll get storage boxes for these rather than doing it this way, but we'll see. So we've got the smaller cards, which are basically your equipment. You've got different types of equipment. You've got common equipment, character-specific equipment, boss specialist equipment. So you kill a boss, you'll get an item dropping, something unique and powerful. And you also have other legendary items dropping, which is good, can be good. So depending on what you're doing, depends on those. What I really like about this game can be played by one person. Every model in the game, all the NPCs have set AI. That AI, the card tells you what they're going to do. So range guys will try and move away from you and shoot you. Melee guys will come into you and beat you in melee. The bosses, all the trash mobs have a single AI. They do one thing, so you know what they're going to do. You try and counter it. The bosses, on the other hand, have AI cards. So we'll just take one of them here. They each have a selection of AI cards. This one, what you have is you have 8 AI cards, 3 of which are the heat cards, which they don't start in the AI deck. Once they take X amount of damage, depending on the boss, depends what the damage that is, you shuffle one of those cards into the AI deck. A random one. So you get an extra ability which you don't know what it's going to be. You don't know what order it's going to come in. Everything else. Then you've got 5 other AI cards. The way the deck bosses work is you shuffle these, you take one out, you shuffle, and then the other 4 become the AI. So what happens is, after each player activates, say we have those 4. We'll leave that one out. You shuffle them. So, the way it works, this game works is bad guys activate, good guy activates, one good guy, bad guy then activates again, good guy activates and bounces back and forth. Seems reasonably simple. So when the boss activates, or the mini boss activates, you flip a card, and it has abilities on hand. I'll put this up on screen just so people can see. This one has a reach of 1. It has a dodge difficulty of 1. He moves 1 to the left hand and pushes anybody in that square out the way. And he does melee damage of 5 to the green square, the green symbols at the bottom. As I say, I'll put a video up and I'll put images around them and highlight each point as I talk about them. So, what does that mean? It means, first thing he's going to do, he's going to move to the left. He moves one node to the left. Simple enough. Anybody in that zone gets pushed down. Again, not that difficulty. He then does his melee attack. Each way this works is the symbols. You've got a symbol in the corner, which means it hits everybody in those nodes. Doesn't just hit one target, and he hits the 2 green markers. So he hits everybody on his right hand side and back. Speed off, and he's weak to the front. So basically, he's done a sweep. He's swung his sword out, and he's now weak to the front. So if something getting on his front, they do additional damage on him. And then that one goes to there. Another player activates, hopefully does some damage to him, gets him to his front and hits him a few times, and then he does another attack. You resolve that. Next player goes, and then you resolve the next one. Again, once that's resolved, the next player goes, and then he does the last one. Once you're out of AI cards, what happens is you do not shuffle this. You do not do anything. You literally turn it over, and you start again. You now know what order his attacks are going to come in, if you can remember them. You can now try and predict them and put yourself in a position where you're either not going to get hit, so you're not going to get hit, and you're in a position to be able to move in and hit his weak point. It's always that easy, but it can happen. Once half damage happens, you take one of his heat cards, and at this point, so say he's done one of these actions and you've managed to take him down. As soon as he takes that, the damage he needs to take for the heat card to trigger, the heat card goes in, that gets shuffled, and you shuffle them. So it becomes a bit harder again. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what order things are going to come in. So you back to the first round of going, I don't want to get too close to him. I will back off a bit, see what you're going to do, and counter it. And then it goes back into that cycle of keeping going. The game itself is really quick, really easy to pick up once you've got understand the basic concepts of the rules. It's not perfect. No board game is, but I'll give it I think it's going to get a lot of play locally. The miniatures are superb. I'm really looking forward to seeing the expansions when they come. I think they're going to be really good, and the sculpts are stunning. Rushjar's and his team have done an absolutely stunning job of the models. The game itself is really good. The guys at Steamforged have produced a really good board game, which will be a lot of fun to play and a lot of replayability, because there's lots of different encounters. What I didn't talk about was each of the before the bosses you do the encounters, which there's actually counters. So you basically set a room up. There's a selection of cards. You shuffle the cards of the level 1 encounter, level 2 encounter, level 3 encounter, depending on what you're doing, and you put those out. So you don't know what's going to be in a room until you go into it, and there can be a different combination each time. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be, oh dear me, that's going to hurt. So overall, I really like the game. I think it's really worthwhile picking up. I will be playing it a lot locally. I've actually got 3 people I'm playing on Friday. I may even record that game if we're lucky. We may see that up on the channel tomorrow on Saturday, depending on how it goes and how the players feel about having their game recorded, which I'll have to see what their choice. And we'll see how it goes. The other thing I didn't mention was the dice. Basically, green dice are the dodges. You have a 50-50 chance of producing a dodge symbol on them. And then you've got black, blue, and orange damage dice, which you basically roll the amount of swords come up. That's how much damage you do. Very straightforward. And the dice progressively get better on those. So that's really all there is to that. But for now, I'll see people next time. I hope people enjoy it, and I hope people look at Dark Souls the Boardgame and go, we want to try that, and go to your local retailer and pick it up. They should all start seeing it. Sure, the ones who got in on the Kickstarter should already have received. Most of them should have already received their games, and I'm sure there'll be more to come. And it'll be out on full release in the near future. And then we've got the joy of looking forward to seeing all the expansion stuff that's coming out for the Kickstarters back end of the year, and then for everybody else over the course of the period after. And we've got news, and they'll be working on more stuff, and there'll be stuff we haven't seen yet, and it will be really. And again, the models will be stunning, give you plenty of replayability, different tiles, different bosses, different minions. It'll be great. So see people next time. Bye for now.